The bees! Sora, the bees!
Alright, welcome back.
I like just saying weird shit, seeing how I can get a reaction out of you.
It's... I'm always like, I hope that's long enough to get picked up in the opening. Long enough of a wait, because when you hit record, it doesn't immediately record the audio, which is why I'm like, I always like wait a second.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's why I say welcome back most of the time, is it's like, alright, welcome back is like, alright, the audio is definitely being recorded at this point, like everyone's good to talk. But it's, no, it's all good. But, yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Yep. Charlie was the one that was the remake, yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, that's the one with, Johnny Depp is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the first one was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right?
I mean, we have a phone, we could look it up, but that requires information.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me, it's contemplating it. There we go. Why do you not have a keyboard? Okay, I like hit the search bar and it like didn't pull up the keyboard. I'm like, what is happening?
The amount of confusion in Chris's like voice genuinely there, yeah, like what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, okay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the reboot. The remake. The original was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's named better. Like, I feel like it rolls better than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
But, that being said, you don't know what's the funniest part, right? So, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is hyper-focused on Charlie. And then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is hyper-focused on Willy Wonka. It's, like, really weird. Like, we learn Willy Wonka's, like, whole backstory and shit, like...
We learn that he's a adventurer who went to fucking who knows where to...
Yeah, like... Essentially the main thing you learn is that, like, he has a father who's a dentist, and they don't get along super well, but they make up at the end, and that was super important to the plot. Let's be honest, it's all an excuse to just get more screen time with Johnny Depp, because we're paying a lot for him, he's gonna be in the whole fucking thing!
I don't like that, have you heard that bullshit with going on about, like, they removed...
Oh yeah, they removed him from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not Pirates of the Caribbean, the,
oh yeah, the,
Fantastic Meeps and Where to Mime Them?
Yeah. In all fairness, because of how big of an actor Johnny Depp is, he's already been paid for the role in full. So them removing him from... And once you're a big actor, you get in your contract that if they replace you for any reason, you still get paid.
Oh.
So, like, he literally got a full pay for a movie that he actually isn't in now. Yeah. Which is kind of hilarious, but
people are super butthurt about it.
Oh yeah, because they're like, they're just ridiculous at this point. Like, the whole case between him and Amber Heard is ridiculous, and everyone is like, oh, blah blah blah, like, you need to believe her, she said she's being abused, and I'm like, she literally has a criminal record of her abusing her previous girlfriend.
Partners, yeah. Not just girlfriend, like, her ex, like, male partners, too.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, this is all on record of her actually doing this, and everyone who's been in a relationship with Johnny Depp is saying he's not an abusive person, except for her. I don't believe her. Like, I'm like, I just don't. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, there's literally records proving that she's an abusive person. And it's like, I'm not saying that they're not both assholes. I'm sure they're both assholes. They're celebrities. That's kind of what they are.
It's in the turf.
Yeah, like, they're all assholes. But, like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, well, I don't see any possible evidence proving the former. Like, I don't think so, dude. Like, it's very clear what they do.
I don't know, I'm just like, What?
That's one of those things with, like, I'm gonna get into semi-controversial things now, but, like, you know the Me Too movement?
Yes.
That's why that whole movement was a fucking sham.
I'm. How do I phrase this? I don't particularly care to talk about that case, but people are like, if they remove Johnny Depp from this movie, they might as well remove her from Aquaman 2.
She should be removed from Aquaman 2.
She, honestly, she was the weakest link in that movie, in my opinion.
This is how I've
and
always...
here's what I love.
Yeah.
There was somebody made one of those change.org or whatever.
Yeah, petitions. Yeah, and it's like a ton of fucking signatures now.
1.5 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking signatures.
Last I checked, and that was a week ago.
Yeah, like...
So it's just like, yeah.
My whole thing, right, is, my whole thing, right, is, like, fair is fair. Like, if you're gonna make crazy bullshit rules, you better make everyone follow. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna get rid of Johnny Depp because of allegations towards him about the things that he did, then you have to fire Amber Heard for allegations against her. Fair is fair. Like,
don't double standard it.
Yeah, like, fair is fair. Like, that's how it works. It's either they both get fired or neither of them get fired. Fair is fair. There's a... man, there's just been so much information coming out recently about the whole Me Too movement, and it's all been, like, bad for the movement. Which I think is funny because I'm just like... I called it, like, right at the beginning, but I was also like... I was also like, this could be a good thing, so... We'll let it play out. Because, like, there's definitely a lot of bullshit happening in Hollywood, but I'm like, that should probably be called out. But I'm like, the fact that it's only focusing on women is kind of a bad sign. And then Terry, the muscle dude, big dude from Everybody Hates Chris. What the fuck's his name?
I don't know.
Terry something. Terry Crews? I think it's Terry Crews. I might be mistaken. He came out and he was like, I was sexually abused too by these things, and I was like, yes,
I know
men
what you're talking about now.
are getting involved in this too. And it's like, but he was like the only one, and then every other one was just women blaming men for their things, and then like allegations came out about the women also abusing other people. And I'm just like, all right, I'm like, clearly this was a mistake, guys. We should probably can it before it's too late, because you're all looking like assholes now. But nope, they decided to keep rolling with it. Like, how do you have, like, a situation where it's like, I am being abused? Literally one of the two co-founders of it, right, came out saying she was abused, Me Too movement, and then, like, a month later it comes out that she's, like, taking advantage of an underage fucking boy. And I'm like,
ooh. No, that never happened, Chris.
I'm like, well played. Well played, guys. We did a great job. And then one of the other... not founders, but one of the other, like, high-up members ended up having to leave because her son was hit by the Me Too movement. You're supposed to teach boys not to rape. You didn't teach yours. I guess you should be fucked too. Like, fucking get out of here. So she had to leave. Fucking, like... stupid. I'm like... And now it's come out that they spent, the money that they raised for the Me Too movement to get things, like, figured out. They spent, like, fucking... I can't remember how much it was, but it was, like, fucking millions. They spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on their own salaries and luxury vacation getaways to discuss what the movement should be about. I'm like, oh, I'm glad to see that money didn't go to help people. Oh, wait. That's exactly what I expected.
So, you know what the worst part is? It's such a common thing that people are like, oh, how could this happen? One of the town governments near us, there had been information has come out that these government officials have been taking huge troughs of money from the town's budgets and using it to big trips.
Oh, yeah.
Big trips. And I was like, oh, I'm not shocked by that.
Because why not? They're like, no one's stopping me. That's how it always goes. I mean, they're getting, dude, they're getting, like, you know, 6-figure salaries to, you know, be the spokesperson of Me Too. movement and like the CEOs of Me Too movement, they're getting 6 figures. I'm like, we could be using that money to help others, but instead,
how do I
line my
phrase
own
this?
pockets.
As long as human greed is a thing,
Which it always will be.
progress will be so slow.
It's stagnated.
Yeah, pretty much.
As it should be, though.
Yeah.
Progress, in my opinion, progress should be slow. Because fast change
It's bad.
is bad. People don't like fast change. People hate fast change. It's... If you try and change things too quickly, you get the American Civil War.
Ooh. True that.
And in all fairness, those changes were going rather slowly, in my opinion, too. But slow in modern day standards is like a millennia in the olden days.
Okay, let's see if I can get that.
But, well played. Very sneaky. Very big brain plays. But yeah, like, that was some funny shit to me. It was, they also did studies that showed that, like, the Me Too movement actually made shit worse because it made businessmen less likely to take on women as, like...
that's sexist.
Pull her up as what are the words? Apprentices and secretaries and other various
positions in the government.
Because
government,
where they worked closely to the like main dude because they're like they just didn't want to take the risk.
They didn't want to take the risk, could be threatened.
Yeah. And I know a bunch of people would just be like, that's messed up, but it is, but if I gave you a lottery ticket that's it's a 1 in 100 chance that you'll win this, but if you win, you lose all your money and go to prison. Would you take that lottery ticket?
No, not many people would. But that might just be a smart option.
It's like, yeah, I wouldn't.
You have a small chance of losing. Big.
Yeah, you it's literally a lot, and you can't, there's no winning. You just have a small chance that you might lose everything.
Yeah.
You want to take that chance. The answer is no.
Most people would say, with a resounding no.
Not particularly.
But that's just crazy of us, you know.
Ah, man. But yeah.
But you know, it's sexist and stupid that people want to cover their own asses.
Oh yeah, fucking. But it's But yeah, the whole thing with like any
movement
and not movement per se, but any charity-like system to help others is always bullshit.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
As long as
to a certain
how do I phrase it? If not even for non-profits, because non-profits most of the time are pretty good.
No. Most non-profits are actually pretty bad. PETA.
Yeah.
Cough, cough. Me Too movement now. Cough, cough.
When I said non-profits, what I really meant was like Doctors Without Borders.
Yes.
That's a very good non-profit.
Yes, it's a little different too because it's specifically paying for doctors to go to other countries.
Help.
There's a lot of them that are the illusion of helping.
Yes.
Without actually helping. Where they're taking huge profit numbers. Which, in all fairness, I bet you the CEO of Doctors Without Borders has a 6-figure salary.
Without a doubt.
I have no doubt in my mind that he does. Should he?
Probably not.
Probably not. But, is it illegal?
No.
Not really. But it doesn't look good. That's the whole thing with... Technically, nothing the Me Too movement did, the organization, instead of the movement, I should say organization. Technically, nothing the Me Too organization did is illegal. It just doesn't look good. Looks really bad on them.
And rightfully so. Fucking bad.
Yeah, it's the same thing with PETA. Technically, nothing PETA does is illegal. Well, actually, there's a few things they do that are super fucking illegal. But, but like... salary-wise, like, technically they can do that. It's like dogs that they found and they put down, technically they can do that. They found the dog. But fucking, like, breaking into laboratories and stealing the animals? No, that's illegal. Stealing people's pets because you don't think they're taking proper care of them with no fucking proof or evidence? Also illegal.
But how dare you? They're the good guys. They'll tell you so themselves.
Dude, they stole a 12-year-old girl's little dog and euthanized it in 8 hours of having it before they even had a chance to go down there to try and get it back. The pound is more reasonable.
That's fucking shady as hell.
Yeah, the pound is more reasonable. The pound gives you fucking, like, a week.
I'm actually annoyed about that.
Yeah, dude, it's funny because they're always like trying to praise themselves of like treating animals humanely, and it's like we're humanely killing them, and it's like you're still fucking murdering them within like ridiculously short time periods. I don't care how humane it is that you're killing them, you're still fucking murdering them within like under 24 hours most of the time.
Yeah, that's just messed up.
Like no,
That's messed up.
In case anyone's unaware, I really fucking hate PETA.
I get it.
I did a whole, that was one of my main things. They were like, do a report on, like,
Something.
a company or something. I forget what the report was supposed to be about, but it was like, do a report on a company. And I was just like, I'm going to do a report on PETA, and I'm going to rip into them super hard because I
remember that.
Yeah, I did in high school, I think.
I think we were in the same class that time.
Yep. It was, because I was discussing the ways that they use, brainwashing. They use, like, hardcore brainwashing to indoctrinate kids into their shit. Like, they released comics about, like... They released really gory, detailed comic books aimed towards children about their parents, like, murdering animals for fucking, like, food. Like, gruesomely murdering. Like, they have one where they, like, decapitate a fucking rabbit with a fucking hatchet.
What I love is, like...
skin it.
People are so, like, oh, no, we have to do everything for animals. And it's just like... Do you like meat? You do understand where that comes from, right?
No, Derek. I'm a vegetarian, which means not only am I better than you, I'm also going to live longer than you. Even though there's no correlation showing that eating meat determines how quickly you die.
I hate it. I hate people.
I love whenever I run into people who are vegetarians, though, or they're like
pretentious about it.
Mainly if they're pretentious about it. They're just like, I'm a vegetarian. I only eat vegetables, and I'm like, oh, I understand. I'm a meatitarian. I only eat meat.
I love that one. What I love is how do we phrase this? It's just like it's one thing, but don't be pretentious about it.
Yeah, right. There's plenty of vegans and I just said the other word and I already forgot. Vegetarians, there we go. That I've met that are cool, like totally reasonable, chill people. But I've also met a couple of people that are just like, oh god, please stop talking to me. Like, I don't want to get into an argument about this. In fact, I don't want to talk to you at all. Please go away.
I get it.
Man. But you know what the main difference between the people that are cool and vegans and vegetarians and the people who aren't?
What is it, Chris?
They don't open their conversations telling me about how vegan they are.
I'm so vegan, pay attention to me.
When you're... It literally comes down... There are just certain people, man, on this planet whose entire personality is based off of one thing. And it's like...
We were talking about this earlier?
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to talk to you then. Like, you bore me. Like, just go away.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I want to... See... I want to be friends with people when people ask me, they're like, what are they like? My response is, I'm not sure. They're cool, though. Like, I don't want one thing that's just like, oh yeah, that's my car guy. He's the one who likes cars and nothing else.
That's their defining character trait.
Their defining character is that they car a lot. And that's all they do, really, and nothing else. They have no opinions unless they relate to cars.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people would agree with that. I don't know, maybe people really like having just, like, an 80s, like, checklist group of people hanging out with them.
This is my goth friend.
This is my goth friend, and this is my
stoner
sports guy.
friend. My sports dude.
This is the nerd one. He's cool, but he's not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a nerd. You get it? Oh. He's a two-dimensional character from a sitcom.
Right.
Oh, like, that was too real.
Like, it's funny to me. Like, there's some people that I swear to God want to be sitcom characters. It's just all they want to be. It's either they want to be sitcom characters, or they don't realize that that one thing is only super interesting to them.
Oh, dude, I get it. I get it.
Oh, man. This is my Final Fantasy VII guy. He literally thinks he's Cloud.
Okay, Nick.
Someone should help him.
Okay, Nick.
See, even fucking, even our buddy Nick is not one-dimensional.
Two-dimensional.
Or, yeah, not two-dimensional. He's like 2.5Ds. Like, he's
I like only 2D women!
Like, he likes a variety of stuff.
It's a weird collection of stuff.
Yeah.
But at least you could be like, oh yeah, this is our buddy Nick. He likes origami.
Yeah. He likes
anime.
Origami.
Games.
Games. Guitars.
Guitars.
And fucking, hentai.
A lot of hentai.
And like, but you know, this is like a few things to talk about. He's not fucking, I'm the guitar man. I like the guitar.
I like the hentai guitar.
Yeah, give you a couple of things to talk about.
I hope this is the one episode Nick actually watches.
That would be
sees of this.
That would be super funny. I love that kid.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He's a riot.
Gotta get in touch with him again.
He also exists on that plane of reality that, like, you know when you're like, it's not a lack of self-awareness. It's when you give so little of a fuck what other people around you think that you will do anything.
Yes.
He is that. Like, he's peak that. Like, he's got the Alagaha face sweatshirt. He wears it to the gym every time he goes to the gym. And I'm just like,
that one.
And I'm just like,
I wish I gave as little fucks as you.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish I gave that little of a fuck. I literally couldn't give that little of a fuck if I tried. Yes. It's like, I could do it, but the whole time I did it, I would just be like, I look like an asshat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Like, it's one thing, you know...
I want to grow up to be like him when I grow up. You gotta love it, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
So one of my coworkers, she's almost 60.
Yeah.
But one of the things she always says is, I want to grow up to be like him when I grow up. And I love it.
That's great. That's actually great.
I love it so much. I want to grow up to be like him when I grow up.
It's a double entendre.
Yeah.
I grow up to grow up. Is it bad that me and you were both gotten that statement before? I got that only once. I got it from like an older dude who was like, I want to be like him when I grow up. He wasn't 60 though. I think he was like late 30s. I think. I got a lot of weird comments like that. I had one where I was actually.
Yeah, we'll wait on this next time.
The next part. Because we're right about time limit. So, we're gonna pick this up in the next part.
It's fucking coming out.
No, alright. We'll pick this up in the next part. We'll see you guys then.